Yeah, gotta learn from my mistakes. We are strong-minded, never blinded, just do what it takes. We are awesome creatures, true believers, with a comeback kids. We are non-hating, jubilating, that's who we are. We are strong, we are strong, we are strong, we are strong. We are motivated, we self-made it, not fearing what's ahead. We are always giving, just free living, doing what we can. We are real determined, go get it, trying to make it through. We are optimistic, independent, that's who we are. We are strong, yes we are. We are strong, so very strong. We are strong, stronger than you know. We are strong, we are strong. Can't nobody tell me strong. Can't nobody tell me we are strong. Stronger, we are strong. Stronger than we'll ever be. I know you've been through some hard times.
At all.
And I know you
RockTrue
got your
Radio is a cross-cultural response to the lack of.
I'm here to tell you it's all
I'm sorry.
right.
It's a cultural response to our social and economic climate
I
today.
know you've been through some
We
hard
seek
times.
to highlight,
And I know you got your
and we seek to highlight upcoming and established local and international kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to who we belong. It is indeed a kingdom renaissance. Welcome, fellow truthers. Grande Queens, how are you? How y'all today? I'm in the midst of sharing.
Hey.
Hi. How are you? Hey, Queen. Welcome. Welcome.
Hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
How y'all? How y'all today? I'm in the midst of sharing.
I'm doing great. What about you guys? Hey, y'all. I'm sorry. I had a malfunction on that end.
You so grand, Queen. You're grand. You're grand. How is everybody today? How's everybody's day?
Doing great.
Great. Super. Everything's great.
Grand. Shout out to Naya with We Are Strong. We actually, she's an artist out of Philly, and she is definitely into empowering women and encouraging them to be strong. We actually connected with them a few years ago when we first got started. What's going on? I believe that may be Black Butterfly. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yo, what's going on, King? Hey, thanks for tuning in and watching. I just show you as I am currently sharing. Yo, what up? I knew that was you. What's going on, King? Yeah, shout out to the Black Butterfly podcast, yo. Always doing grand things in the hood, always doing stuff to uplift and rebuild our community through educational efforts first and foremost, and enlightening. Don't forget to check them out. I believe you guys air at 7. King put it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and promote you. Shout out to Rebecca, who's also tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Queen. Queens, today we are discussing courage and resilience. Courage and resilience. Important. Maybe actually choose that one for this week is because it was so much stuff going on that I was seeing in the news with women and children and abuse and violence and death. And I'm like, what are we doing? How are we and why are we making the decisions that we are making to place ourselves in the harm's way? You know, um, I look at I'm always going to look at the root. I'm always going to look at the root of something. I'm always going to look at, what is that main concern or reason as to why something is happening. Like my mind just automatically bypasses all of the symptoms and go straight there, or at least as far as I can, until I can dig further. But the courage and resilience that it takes, that's necessary in our society today, to just be yourself. Like, I think that is the challenge, and it leads to violence when you have to pretend. When you have to pretend, because I just don't. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out, like, how, um, if you were always true and authentic, the true authentic you don't allow things to go past a small point. You know what I'm saying? The true authentic you check even you at every moment. So it can't help but to check everything. So before you can have a red flag, I just saw the Kill Bill red, and you doing something with the table salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that gave me a real sign that was like, no, this one right here, this one ain't it, this one ain't right. Not too tight or at all. What's going on, Tyron Joe? Shout out to Tyron Joe and BZNZ Radio. What's going on, family? Love you, brother. Miss you. So yeah, just the courage and the resilience to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
LA Keish, go ahead.
I must look like something on my mind with that one. I think I think the biggest issue is that we tolerate things when we don't know who we are, and we tolerate stuff beyond where they need to go because of lack, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, a lack of, and we feel like we have to be in these places. And I can remember as a young girl, growing up, in my mom's house for the time that I was in her house with her, and she was in an abusive relationship. I used to ask myself, like, why don't she stay? Why does she stay? Why don't she leave? Right. And then I made up in my mind at that point, I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna be her. And I ended up dating this guy. And he was abusive. He was violent, right? And so in my mind, I fought back. And I tricked my mind to think that because I fought back, it wasn't domestic violence, it wasn't domestic abuse. But the thing is, you don't know, you get lost in who you are, who you're supposed to be, and you start allowing these people, these circumstances, to shape you. You start to define you, so to speak. I teach SEL to my students, you guys, every day, and we just last week talked about Dr. Brené Brown braving acronym, and I went through that with them, and and they got stuck for a moment on boundaries. So we talked about expectations and we talked about standards, and I told them, you are not too young as young women and young men to start setting boundaries, but you do that by learning more about who you are. So I just think that that's a key into accepting and tolerating things, circumstances, people, places, stuff, because that's my word, stuff, that take us beyond,
Yes. Yeah, no. You're absolutely correct. Like that tolerance and that acceptance piece is so imperative, because that's exactly what's being pushed today, where, that doesn't represent love. Like, that is hatred. But to correct somebody, that's love. Like, not, oh, I'm just gonna sit around somebody, I'm chilling around just to say that I did. Like, that's not the type of love that God is even seeking from us. He wants us to come to him, not because of who he is, not because of what he does, because we want to. He want to be loved just like we want to be loved, because somebody wants
exactly
to show up every day to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all that other stuff be just, and it's just imperative that we get back to that identity piece that you're bringing up. That is That becomes that root
Yeah.
that's stemming off and leading into, even death of self. Because the moment that you are unauthentic, you have killed you. You know what I'm saying? And that you is so necessary to our
Yeah.
population.
You
Yet,
you you
go
give up
ahead.
a piece. You give up a piece of yourself, like you said, when you become unauthentic, you give up a piece or a place of yourself to allow something or someone else to come in and start trying to mold or shape or define you.
Yeah, absolutely, Queen. Go ahead, Lisa Renee.
um to piggyback on that with the abuse thing and not really knowing you're even in those environments, and accepting things because you think it's the norm and thinking that this is the way it should be done because I've seen it this way. Being disclosing about my relationship, I was in a relationship for 17 years. I was in a relationship since I was 15 till about 31, 32, and I had to leave. However, with that relationship, I learned that I was someone who was dealing with domestic violence. I stayed so long out of the fact that I needed to be loyal. We grew up together, so we know each other's battles and we know each other's miscomings and all this stuff. We rolled together, like we had all these different issues that we had to come together to overcome. However, it was not love. It was healthy looking on the outside, but on the inside, it was toxic. And I lost a lot of me because I was 15 years old. So I did not really grow to
See,
learn more about me, my experiences, what I like, what I don't. Well, I knew what I didn't like because what I was dealing with, I knew I didn't like the feeling of how I was being dealt with or how I was feeling about myself. And it turned into it being other relationships I act like this towards because I didn't believe that I was beautiful. I didn't believe I was worthy. I didn't believe all of these different things because someone had told me and penetrated my heart and told me that I wasn't nothing. I would never be anything. Everything I ever touched would not prosper. And someone pretty much cursing you because you're taking the stance to leave it be before either I die or I kill you. One or the other. It's going to be someone's going to get hurt. So having to distance myself from that and learning that I was in that experience and didn't really um relate to other domestic violence cases because mine wasn't. Again, he wasn't beating me every day. He wasn't it wasn't the normal beat every day. Every blue moon. However, it was the verbal and the financial and all the
Yes.
different other abuses. But don't get me wrong, he put his hands on me too. However, it wasn't what you would see, the normal. Oh, she gets beat every day, you withheld her money and all those different. I did not relate to that experience. And even when I tried to go to a abuse shelter, I could not relate to that experience. It was like this is not what I was going through. This is normal. It's okay to have a little fight and a little argument, a little jealousy, a little envy. It's cool. He loves me. But then when he's putting his hands on me to the point where I'm gonna die, or it's getting serious and serious every incident, it's like you have to learn how to learn yourself and learn that you're worthy and you're better
Yeah.
than that. And that
Yeah.
experience doesn't mean that person. I mean, yes, he might be a bad person because he did that stuff, but you just might not be the woman for him because he can get with someone else and be a
Exactly.
totally different man, and I could get with another man and be a totally different woman. Because people bring out the good in you when they're with you, and if they don't, you have to reevaluate it. You really do.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely, correct. That one piece when you think that, and that's the thing with society, abnormal has become the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The
Yes.
lie
Yeah.
has become the truth, right? Facts, you know what I'm saying, has become
Mm,
necessary. Truth.
mm.
Um, everything is up for fact check if it doesn't fit somebody's perception of
Yeah,
reality. And so
exactly.
um,
Yeah.
we're definitely dealing with all of this stuff currently in society, but it is imperative to check, our perceptions in a sense, and how we have grown up. And at any point, at any point that you believe something may be wrong, question. You know what I'm saying? Any children that are
Mhm.
doesn't, age matters, but maturity also matters. And so at
Yeah.
any in life that you feel as if something's not right, question it. Ask the question until it's satisfied with your soul, because You could be in a situation like Queen of State and don't know. You don't know. You just think that's is waking up to, you know, being called a bee or a hoe. You know what I'm saying? That's like breakfast. That's cereal. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, you know, kind of omit that piece. I love that you brought attention to that. Go ahead, Queen, Persia Doll.
Yeah, yeah, this is a really touching subject because I can definitely relate to this topic because from my experience, what I've noticed, it's a lot of narcissist spirits running around. That's what I see a lot of persuasion going on. Um I know we talk about the factor about self love, but not a lot of people speak about self evaluation because we got to see what is the reason why we are attracting these kind of individuals. What is it that we're carrying to like attract these individuals? Is something magnetic where we get connected to these people? So from like my past actually is like I was the helper. I was always trying to help this person. I was always trying to be a savior because sometimes you could be a captive saver. I can help this person. I got the key. But when you get into that situation and then you thinking it was going to go as planned as what you thought things were going to be, you don't know to the degree of how deep it is that person is suffering. You don't know, and to the point where you get sucked in. They're not, most times they don't want to be rescued. They want to be the way that they are. But when you become a part of it and you start buying these stories, and then it goes from one thing to another, and then they have these episodes, that's where these fights are coming from. Instead of you backing up and I'm gonna leave this person alone, they begin to take it out all on you because they're fighting their own demons. These are demons that they are fighting. And it's like you come in trying to be Jesus. No, that is something for the Savior to do. Another part is where sometimes as women we get mixed up. Sometimes we don't know how to recognize these kind of people. We don't know how to identify these kind of people. What kind of traits? What are these traits? So, you had something to say, Miss Mary? I saw you point your finger,
Oh,
Miss Lady.
I was saying we don't miseducation. We don't
Yeah.
know how to identify a manipulator. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But at the same time, it's very easy to identify one if you look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Your
Yeah.
flesh, your fallen depraved nature is just as manipulative as it's gonna get. And if you can
Hmm.
yourself, you know what I'm saying? Just starting with that. But even that's part of an educational piece that people don't know. Like start with
Yeah.
you, studying you.
Yeah.
I believe that's what LA was talking about earlier, from the beginning. So it's all we looking at identifying factors and features that are necessary uh for courage, for resilience,
Hmm.
going through something. Like there
Yeah.
there is nothing that you're not going through, but you're also not going through it for yourself. You're going through it for other people. You're going through it
Yeah.
for activity. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Mhm.
relate to each other. And then, I believe that as people, as humans, we don't fully understand the or comprehend the consequence of one choice that's in opposition to God, just one. And we don't understand the full ramifications that come along with that could curse generations to come. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
think one decision just, oh hey, that's cool, it's just socks. Well, no, it's not just socks. Like,
Mhm.
it get ridiculous. No, it's not just socks. It's a little bit deeper than that. But I believe that, now is definitely the time for us to educate our youth, educate ourselves, so that we can educate our youth, so that we can
Mhm.
cut off the cycle of them not knowing. Real quick, we got some comments going. This is I love this, but I will play devil's advocate. I love it. Some women, because of them. Hold on, let me go here. I give them a compliment and they reject it. I had to remind him, hey, I just gave you a compliment. Take that, queen. So I believe maybe possible. You're talking about that some women reject the compliments of men, or it could be men, or just compliments altogether, because you don't know. Sometimes people don't think well of themselves. That's the
Yeah.
reason why you don't
Yeah.
people how treat people how you want to be treated, or how they would want to be treated.
Hmm.
Don't like to treat themselves well. So
Yeah,
you just
exactly. I
try
agree.
to, you know what I'm saying? But most women,
Hmm.
it's not just be a man thing. It could be they just don't like hearing compliments. You know what I'm saying? You just so
Yeah.
happen to be a male. They friend could have called and said like, "Girl, you this, you that," and they just totally ignored that too. So,
Yeah. Or
yeah,
they might just
Yeah.
don't believe you. It's just they might just don't believe you. Is it if it's you know, they might don't believe you. It depends if you used to talk to them, that you used to talk, you know, have a relationship with them. Because I know how I get. Don't give me no compliments, and I know you don't like me. Because then I'm thinking you talking about something other than that. You know you don't like me. Don't give me no compliments. But I
so
mean,
many
it could be many reasons.
people said that's crazy if we
I,
can't compliment each other. You're right.
Yeah, it's messed up. Yeah.
I I thought I was reading. I thought she said she had given him a compliment. I wanted to
Oh.
just say that, Queen. Sometimes, I mean, I'm married, almost 17 years, and I ask my husband all the time, "How on the earth did you grow up in a household of women, and not know blah 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 or this, that, and the third?" And I'm not, Lord, if any of them watching, I'm not speaking on my husband, family in a negative way. I'm just saying sometimes it can be environmental, and I
Okay.
love his grandmother to death, but she
Mhm.
was very firm and strong with them, and she had to, because she said she birthed a lot of young ladies that birthed a lot of boys, right? So she had to be that tough little grandma on those boys.
Mhm.
So whereas I think for him, he was getting that tough love and things like that, because she was a woman trying to raise these young boys into young men. And for me, I grew up sitting in my grandmama's lap. Like literally, I can tell y'all, I was 13 and my granddaddy was like, well, Book, the bed getting crowded, and I'm like, yeah, where you gonna sleep? So that's how much I was up under my grandparents. And it was
Yeah.
always hugs and
Yeah,
kisses to the forehead, and
yeah,
sitting on her lap, things like that. So sometimes it could be, to the young lady that made that post, sometimes it just could be environmental for him. It could be, I'm a communicator, I'm a massive communicator. My husband is not, it drives
Mhm.
me batty cuckoo. But I just realized that my grandmother communicated with me. She taught me communication. Whereas again, his environment may have been different. And so I just try to take that in sometimes. So it may not be that he didn't hear you or he didn't understand you, or even that he didn't receive it. He just may not he may not just be used to it. And that's something I had to learn from me too as well.
yeah.
If I had to say,
I'm gonna
Okay.
bring
I'm
in,
sorry, y'all.
real quick. We're gonna bring in Lisa right after this one. Let's go ahead and just read the comment. This is in my rule. My rule is with Black Butterfly Podcast. Shout out to Amaru. He's also been featured on Rock Truth Radio in our earlier seasons. So he's saying that he's been married 16 years. But I'm saying women are so hardcore. And I be like, relax. I uplift women all the time. We as men always should be able to uplift y'all as women. And I totally agree with you on that. One, let's just go back real quick about you
I agree
saying
as
women are,
well.
yes, like it's as if this independent women movement, feminist movement, as opposed to womanism, have pushed us into a direction as if we have to not compete with a man but be one.
Uh, you
And
better
I know,
you better
Mhm.
speak on it.
yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
because there's no explanation that you would even want to be in a league that people are involved that have equipment that you don't. This is so you already know now it's a fixed race or something. You have something that somebody else lacks, so it's already going to be somebody cheating. You know what I'm saying, or having an advantage, and it's not fair. I be like relax, uplift women all the time, and then you were
Mhm.
talking about you guys should be able to uplift us. We should be able to uplift each other. We are broken people. And until we decide to heal as opposed to pursue, we stuck in this sin sick condition. You know what I'm saying? Love is law. I put the heart in my head when I cut it now because love is law. That is the law of the land. It is to love his way, not our broken way, not our bitter way. It is to forgive, it's to restore, it is to repeat that process and get faster and faster at it. That's it. Everything else, you ain't gotta keep making up. Like do the one thing he said, and we grand to go. Go ahead,
Renee.
or that.
Just to piggyback on what LA Key said, pretty much it's a nature versus nurture type thing. Like a lot of people, nature wise, were not loved the way that they needed to be loved. And, it's just, their genes is not meant to love other people because they were never taught. Their grandpas wasn't never taught. Their grandmothers wasn't never taught. So the way that they actually interact with people is a experience of what they have been pretty much exposed to. A lot of women, and I say this myself, even when I think about my grandma was very strong woman, sometimes too strong. And I would see how she would demasculate my granddaddy. And I grew up doing that to a certain extent. Wasn't as rough as her, but I grew up talking to me in a certain type of way, feeling like I got to be strong with them, pretty much letting them know you're not going to check me. I'm not going to, you're not going to disrespect me. So pretty much laying the law that some people have seen experiences where they never want to be looking like they're weak or that they're accepting something, or hurt people, real talk. Like hurt people. And if a person cannot really truly love because they've been hurt, any compliment you give them, if they don't believe it within their heart, they're not going to be able to accept it or receive it, because it's a nature versus nurture game. Nurture is how you're actually brought up. Nature is what's within you, what's poured into you, what comes out of you, and what comes out of your childhood, what comes out of your culture, your family, and things like that. And a lot of people don't get a lot of love in their environment. They get treated retreats and kicks. I mean, they don't get anything. It's a hard knock life for some people. Like really, it truly is. Like you grow up being told that you're a bitch, you're a whore. Excuse my language. You're told this. You're told this in your family. You're told by your own grandma, stop crying or stop doing this, or just pretty much telling you to stop doing certain things because you got to look strong. You can't look. You have, so your attitude is a form of showing that you're not going to make me feel no type of way. I'm in control. If I want to say hi, I want to whatever I want to do. It's the ball is in my court, because people were taught by other strong black women that I have to have this strong strength all the way around to protect myself, protect what I got going on.
And all the while you're just falling apart. I'm coming for you.
Because you want to be loved so bad, but every time you in them experiences, you get the wrong type of love. You think that is love, but it's not. It's kind of toxic, and you're dealing with it because you're okay with a man saying, "Oh well, you better not cheat on me. You better not do. I'll hurt you." When a man say they're gonna do something, or even when a woman say it, you better take it to heart, because people are telling you in a joking way, but not so joking, that if you play with me, you know what it is. Like, and people think that's love. Oh, he loved me so much. He cared about me. Ooh, but not knowing that that is a form of toxicity, and that is the first start to anything becoming
manipulation.
It's all a cycle. Your behavior is first, then the action come next.
Exactly.
You're thinking, and going back to like you were saying, look at the whole thing is going back to the same words being pushed around. Tolerance and acceptance. That tolerance and acceptance was leading to everything. Because why are you tolerating and accepting? Because you're refusing to even correct you. You're refusing to even love yourself. So you're not accepting. Because that's so crazy. You're not gonna love you because you haven't accepted the love of the cross. So you can't. So you love the property, so you're just willing to go with a side deal to God's main deal, and that's what everybody else is doing. These makeshifts, everything to make things happen, and it's just not working. And then you're stuck in situations, sad and unhappy, and you know it's not working. It's
exactly.
Exactly.
As a society. Now, real quick, I'll run.
You better leave.
I didn't have
You
the
best to
courage
leave.
to have identity, to even seek within yourself to have. Look at these, the same words: identity, lack of the ability to identify.
Mhm.
The courage, the resilience, coming with tolerance and accepting. All this stuff is leading to your
Mhm.
own suicide. Like you just slow death
Yeah.
and living, or rather existing, as opposed to living. All right, real quick, this comment, Black Butterfly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Butterfly. Make sure I have your logo, King. Make sure you resend it to me. If I don't have it in our chat, so I can make sure I put you as one of our sponsors. Thank you so much for um, tuning in and then also conversing with us. So he's saying that
Exactly. I agree.
are the real conversations that we need to have. It's not about men versus women. You're absolutely correct. We need each other.
Yeah.
Now that's
Mhm.
Oh,
to restore positive energy with that energy has been lost. And you're absolutely correct, King. It
Yeah.
is not
yeah.
Mhm.
of women. It's about man versus man, mankind. Mankind is the same kind as the man that's standing next to him. That's kind like him. You know what I'm saying? Of his kind.
Mhm.
And not much of a difference until we're talking about productivity or we're talking about functionality. But other than that, that fallen depraved natureless spirit, that little spirit,
Uh-huh.
all we share and we unite, and we do need each other. Like that's the whole thing,
Yeah.
to get back to origin or get back in line. We need to
Mhm.
do that via relative keys, and from a music perspective, it's keys on the keyboard, the keys, and notes on a scale. But keys is also principles. And you get back to origin via those keys via a relative note. So one that relates to you or is a relative, a brother or sister in Christ. Like we do need each other to get back. And so now, that
Yeah.
positive energy is restored and that energy is lost. If it's lost, then it's on us because we possess
So, um,
what's been given to us to share. Go ahead, first,
I'm sorry, Queen. I felt some Michelle Obama energy, you know. So I wanted to get. I was like, okay, but so while you were saying that, when we do need one another as women and men, and that's how God created us to be. Because like you guys were saying, it's like we have a problem. It tends to overlap with responsibilities. Or you're supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do that. No, it's whatever you're good at, baby. Go for it.
yeah.
It's about taking the load off one another. First, we're individuals. And then
Please.
another thing, that being individuals, we need to pour into one another. Y'all ever been around those situations? Be like your cousin or something. Like, man, Ronnie, you got soft ever since you got with Jessica. What's going on with you? Because Jessica been loving all over Ronnie. I'm gonna push you into a rainbow. You feeling mad? We gonna sit down, watch some cartoons. We gotta put some love into our relationships. That's the problem. And it's not even just relationships, it's all around. You looking
No,
at me, you want to give me a middle finger, I'm gonna give you a
Mm-hmm.
kiss.
yeah,
You feeling ugly today, somebody ain't tell you you look pretty today. That's all that
yeah,
is.
yeah,
So it's just like it's about pouring into one another again. Speaking,
yeah.
I heard my favorite minister, I forgot his name, because he said it's about speaking to the king. It's Mr. MC Blake. That's his name. He says, speak into the king, speak the king in him, speak to the king in him, speak to the queen in her. It is so important because it's just like, yeah, we've been through this stuff in our family. We don't have that love that's been exchanged in our family. We got these hardcore grandmas and all these thugs, uncles and dads and all this other kind of stuff in the family. Somebody got to break the barrier. Somebody
Somebody.
got to break it. Auntie Peaches. Nobody want to hear all that ghetto stuff. Come over here, get this hug. That's why you hollering and screaming because you ain't got no hug in like 30 years. That's all the problem is. So we need to put more love in.
That's
That's
all.
all I'm saying.
That's all. I totally agree. I believe we need both of them. LA Keisha, go ahead.
I'm laughing at Personal over here. She said they need some hugs. But look, sis, I'm with you. Did you see that post that they had with President Obama and First Lady Michelle, and he was talking about this lady. He was like, she used to like me, and or this, that, and the third, or something like that, or they was talking about a guy. Anyways, basically he was saying the post was about like, what if you had met so and so before you met me? And she said then he would have been president. I was like, yes, sis. Yes, she literally was saying she spoke to that king, right? So that made me think about that. It was so long. It was like, well, he was like, well,
Yeah.
President Obama was like, what if you had met him before you met me? And he was like, then she said, then he would have been president.
That's right.
So I just want to say I like that. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe in that. I had someone tell me that before, that they've said like, I knew your husband before you got married, and and things of that nature. And we were just going on with this conversation, but she was just like, kind of like what you spoke into, maybe the woman before me wasn't the right one for him, and the man before him wasn't the right one for me, but together, again, he drive me batty cuckoo, but 17 years. and it's just like, feels like we feel each other out sometimes. And even when I'm mad at him, y'all, I hate being mad at him, because I'd be like, I miss my best friend. Like, oh, I got some tea. Because that's who I share my tea with. Because either he ain't halfway listening to me, or either one other the other. He's not gonna gossip with me, but it's not gonna go anywhere, right? So that's who I share my tea with. That's who I vent with. But when I'm mad at him, I'm like, now I'm mad because I gotta hold all this tea in. But that's true. That's my friend, and I will tell you guys, my husband and I started dating. He wasn't a few months out of incarceration. Bad mistakes. Made bad mistakes. And if I don't share that with people today, nobody knows that about him. Nobody that really have met him throughout these last 17 years would even really know. We have grown together, bought houses together, raised children together, made mistakes, laughed, loved, did life together. But as he tell people, I have made him a better man. And honestly, I think I believe that he's made me a stronger woman, because he allows me to be me. He allows me to be mouthy when sometimes I ain't gonna tell that lie, but he also makes me feel comfortable. And if we're at a family dinner, he can have a seat, and I fix that plate, and I walk and I bring that plate to the table, with no quorums. Or if he's not there, I'm gonna fix his plate, wrap it up, put it, what we do, put it in aluminum foil, go tell the kids, go put it in the car. Or if one of the kids are cooking, y'all make sure y'all fix our daddy plate and put it in the microwave. I feel comfortable in that space, right? So I think we vibe together.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think that marriage is such a beautiful thing. And of course it starts with friendship. So having a friendship piece is always going to be imperative. And if you guys can be friends, or you provide that opportunity or environment where each person has the opportunity to be, like you guys can say, you can say, it becomes fruitful and multiplies. So King, real quick, he was saying, when you speak to all his queens, I'm speaking to your soul, speak to your spirit. Y'all are dope, and I'll speak to King. Thank you so much. Dope. Thank you, King. We need more queens speaking to our souls and our spirits. I don't know about y'all. Speak to mine. Shout out to Willie.
Lord. Speak to me.
Out here, ain't a queen, girl. Shoot, good to see you out. You definitely made me smile when I saw you were out there. Willie is part of the Origin show, the pilot show of Rock Truth Radio, and he is definitely doing major things behind the scenes. And we are grateful to your overall commitment and continued commitment to Rock Truth and our mission. Thank you so much. Back to King. He says this is an awesome story. That was an awesome story. He was talking about you, Queen. No marriage is perfect. Being married isn't for the weak. Absolutely. It is definitely for the mature.
That's right.
Job, ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you, King. That is King with Black Butterfly again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who was tuning in. And Rock and Truth, that's absolutely nothing at all. I'm sorry, I'm like watching on different platforms and stuff. But real quick, shout out to our sponsors. Before we get up out of here and we do some final thoughts. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Healthy in Space, guys. You already know if you need your CMOS, you can head on down to Healthy in Space and get your CMOS. Shout out to Fredible Edibles, who is the proprietor of the CMOS that we provide there. There are different flavors. You can also place your own order. If you are local, you can go down to 6004 Broadway in Maryville, Indiana. If you are not, we have shopping online. So www.healthyinspace.com. All things healthy in one of those spaces. Our sponsor for today, shout out to Miss Jate in P4113. She has a clothing line which provides Kingdom Culture. It's on for 4 and 13 if you guys want to go ahead and read it. But yes, she is out of Philly. We love her clothing line and shout out to her. Thank you for being our sponsor for today. And then I thought I had the Bustopia ad. I guess I do not, but that is okay. Yeah, that's okay. Real quick though, Persia Doll, if you can for a second, you actually have a show that is going to air. I hope this is the right one. I put it up the last time. Is it? So I still got it for Saturday. Nope, but we are going to air for the first time this week. The podcast Rock Bottom. It will be Thursday. Thursday, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thursday at 6 p.m. still?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Persia, real quick, can you give us a little bit of Rock Bottom and a small window into your Rock Bottom?
Okay, so my rock bottom is goodness, what do you want me to speak about? I'm sorry, I didn't get off. I didn't get excited. So what do you want me to speak upon when it comes to the rock bottom? Is it my truth?
It is. It's gonna be
okay,
your
gotcha.
your
So
Rock Bottom. Go right ahead.
okay, so I learned from this past week it's really important for every single one of us to be supportive of one another. We need it. We need it. We need it more than what other people think. Some people are too scared to ask for support. Some people are just, pretty much overwhelmed with asking for support because they didn't get the effort that they thought they would get for certain particular people. It's important not to give up as well, because you never know who. It takes one person to support you. It don't take a full room to support you. So is learning to just stay open hearted, stay open minded, keep your faith in whatever the situation may be. You know, whatever, God gonna send help. God gonna send help in the situation. That's all I have to say about that. That's my truth.
Teach. I love all of that. And so look forward to the show on Thursday with Rock Bottom, where you don't look like what you've been through or is currently going through. But the key to it all is the fact that you are going to go through. Just
That's right.
Going. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about. I always say weather this or weather that, or you're weathering the storm, or it's whether you're choosing. But whether this or whether that, just prepare. Keep going. It doesn't matter what is happening. That stuff is to throw you off. Keep going. Wake up as if every day like it's nothing, because it's a lot of stuff that you can't control. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back quick. Let's do some final thoughts on courage and resilience and the importance of it. So let's go real quick to Lisa Renee for the youth perspective on courage and resilience. And I this is important because it's what's also a shame, outside of the fact that we can't take compliments, is the fact that our youth have to endure things that even adults barely cope with or get through, in a sense, I guess. But our youth have to deal with those challenges. So I am very interested into what it is that you have to say regarding resilience and courage for our youth?
So my message for the youth, again, this is Lisa Renee, your host and your girl. So I want to leave you with this: do it before you doubt it, and don't doubt it before you do it. What I realized, and a lot of the things that I went through as a child is because of the fact that I doubted myself a lot. I doubted my abilities. I doubted my worth. I doubted my talents. I doubted a lot of things. And as a result, trying to keep up that perfect togetherness that I did not have, I missed out on a lot of opportunities. And I missed out on opportunities where I could have actually gained my courage, gained a little more resiliency, and I lost myself in the midst of doing that. So whenever you feel you have some doubt, fear, or anything that you feel about going after something that you're passionate about, that you love, that you want to do, don't doubt it before you do it. And don't allow other people's doubts to keep you from living the life that you were supposed to live or doing things that you want to do in this life, because people, places, and things are going to be there, but your dreams, you have to make those come to a reality. People are going to make you doubt yourself. You're going to doubt yourself sometimes, but you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, as a young person today, and this is me talking to my younger self, because like I said, in high school and grammar school, I missed out on so many opportunities because I doubted myself that much. So the message, what I want to let you know is, do it when you're afraid. Do it when you don't think you have it all together. Do it when you think people are going to talk about you. Do it because you want to do it, because you love it, and it brings joy to your heart. Because missing out on opportunities when you get older and you're an adult and you're looking back, all that's going to bring is regret, and it's going to make you not want to do things as an adult. What we do is set the foundation when we're younger. And right now, you're setting the foundation for how you want your life to be, for the boundaries you want for your life, for the respect that you want for your life, for the legacy you want to live for your life. Everything you doing now, you have to do it even when you're afraid, when you doubt yourself. And then stop thinking about what people are going to say, because when I thought about me as a young person, I thought about more about what people were going to see, where they're going to see me mess up if I tried to sing that song, or they're going to make me see me mess up when I do that dance and I don't do it right. You have to keep trying, because if something is for you, God is going to equip you with everything you need to succeed. But you got to believe in it, and you have to do it before you doubt it, and don't doubt it before you do it. Follow your heart and your dreams right now, because this is what you're setting the foundation for, so that when you're an adult, you know how to carry yourself, you know how to ask people for what you want, you know how to go out for what you want, and take the initiative regardless of how you feel about yourself or what other people feel about you, because people are going to talk either way it go. So give them something to talk about. Go out there and do what it is, because you'll never know what you're good at. You'll never know what your purpose is if you don't go out there and try things out. If you love to sing, go get in that choir. If you love to play basketball, go get on that team. You may not have everything you think you have right now, but if God put it on your mind and your heart to do something and you're passionate about it, don't not do it because you doubt yourself and you're doubting your abilities. You may have just what you need for that opportunity. You may not be perfect, but the opportunity may be perfect for you. So don't ever let nobody make you feel down, because you were meant to be up. But you have to use that courage and that resiliency that you always gonna build in every life. Is nothing more than a lesson. Life is like school. You're gonna constantly learn from it. So when you learn it and you're growing from whatever experiences you're having, if you fail, pick yourself up and try again. Because the more you, Michael Jordan, he failed a million times before he became the basketball player he was and is today. But if he would have given up, we would not have a Michael Jordan. If President Obama did not give up, we would not have to, or say we have a black president. If people would have just given up and not used the courage that they have within, even in scary and fearful situations, You have to use that little bit of what is inside of you, and that's called faith. And faith is not knowing what's going to happen, but going through and seeing what is going to happen. Because you never know, you giving up before you even did it. So how do you know it would have worked or not worked? You wouldn't know,
Right.
but you're doubting yourself already, and you're not giving your chance the opportunity to grow and get experiences that you need to continue to be courageous and resilient and continue to be the great person you are. So again, this is my last thoughts on that. Don't doubt it before you do it, and do it before you doubt it.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that because I sure was gonna have you restate that for us and for our youth. That was so simply profound. Unstuck woman, LA Quiche, unstick a woman.
All right, ladies. Hey, this is LA Quiche, your luminous and authentic voice for women, the unstuck women. Um, my final thoughts on courage and resilience, my sisters, your circumstances does not define you. You are not your circumstances. We're going to face struggles. We're going to face trials. We're going to face storms, but that doesn't make us who we are. I promise you, take it from someone who has faced some experiences in life, and at one point, some points more than others, have allowed them to pull me down. But I'm so thankful to God that I got to that place of finding myself, finding my identity, to realize that my circumstances became a part of only a part of who I am. I'm so sorry, y'all. Became only a part of who I am. Not who I am as a person. They helped to mold me. They helped to shape me. They gave me stepping stones to elevate me. They help to define me. They help me to find my journey. As I like to tell my students, as I like to tell women, I learned to create a solution for my struggle. Unstuck woman, because that's how I felt. You can finding yourself finding your identity allows you to find yourself. It allows you to identify truth. It allows you to embrace your story, the good and the bad. It allows you to become the woman, the better version, the stronger version of who you're meant to be. And the last thing I want to say is, when you become that stronger version, when you overcome those circumstances, when you push past that stuff, you come out a better version. And when you show up as that better version of you, those women, those men, those people that you're meant to help are waiting. They're standing there waiting on you so you can help them now become a better version of themselves. Ladies, get unstuck.
I love it. And no problems with King. Like if necessary, he got to be picked up, pick him up, whatever time he's, you know what I'm saying? Because we're intruding on his time. And so, we want to definitely allow King to have, yes, he is a whole king. Give him what he needs. I advocate for my kings. Let him be. But no, it's no problem at all. Anybody walking through the door, anything like that, like the last child we had, her name was Foot. Like all we would see is literally her foot. Like it would just be the weirdest thing. So, like we embrace, our children, our real lives. We're real people. You know what I'm saying? So stuff happens, child. Don't you ain't gotta, yeah. Don't bring our king, introduce him to the forefront, all that stuff.
That's right.
You know he love your spotlight anyway. It ain't not one time he came in to take that. You muted. We didn't hear you. You was muted.
Oh, I would say yes. He loves my spotlight, my microphone. Yes. Luckily he had a specific want that he's gone on back by this way. Other than that, y'all, yes, we would. She's saying King. King will have questions and he want to talk and some more stuff.
Let him, and we don't let him too. Please do not. It could be something out of the mouth of babes, always. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick wrap up. Because we were talking about some deep stuff today, and like I said, it's so crazy how it's not as easy to talk to each other all week. We have it. And two, those same principles, have come up, they've arise, I'm sorry, in the conversation over and over. So at least now we know what those root factors are and how we
Yeah.
can, as opposed to just symptoms, because we don't need to deal with that. Please let Tylenol do their job. Robitussin in my in business for a reason, but let the physicians, you know what I'm saying, who are connected to the grand physician,
That's
seriously
right.
uproot the negativity and the things in our that are plaguing our society that allow us this opportunity to heal our land, which is our mindsets, our bodies first
That's
and
right.
foremost. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Mhm.
just, the courage and the resilience. I love what everybody on platform was saying today about courage and resilience, and especially with our youth, because that's the future. That's where it's going to start with natural progression. That's the future. So we have to solely focus on the youth knowing who they are and to whom they belong, and without those key principles. I actually saw this leader of a group, and it's a group that is in opposition to God and what he's doing. But what the guy said was so simple, profound. He said, "If I can capture the heart and mind of a 12-year-old, I'll have him for life." And I'm like, yeah, because first of all, looking at the word capture. If I could capture them, or even with a photo or a camera, you're capturing them. You know what I'm saying? Just think if all that relates to the word, but if you got them at 12, you got them for life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's time that we make sure that we're capturing them or captivating them with the proper message of love, uh, love for God, love for other people, so that you are self-loving, like we talked about, and obedience equates love. Teaching them the law so they know exactly what to obey. There's a lot of people thinking that they're to obey things that He never requested us to do. We be just doing extra stuff to either stand out or avoid doing the thing that we're supposed to do. That's normal. Like, we will do laundry before we do the dishes because we don't like to do the dishes. We will, vacuum and mop and everything else before we do the dishes because we don't want to do the dishes. But that's what it seems like we're doing. Everything besides what He has commanded or ordained us to do. So, all right, guys, we thank you so much for joining us today as we rock true courage and resilience and encouraging you to do the same. You don't know what's to come, but you do know that one, you're going to get through it no matter what. You're going to get through it. Look
Mhm.
to a relative. As you can see, we're all relatives on this platform. We are brothers and sisters in Christ. Look to a relative to get you through. God will send people you've never expected, you never even knew, that will change your life, help your life, and the people you like. You guys were talking about earlier, the people that you're expecting to be there won't even be there. So be
Yeah.
open, be willing to who God sends, but most importantly, where God sends you
Yeah.
to. Okay. Go ahead, put it. Yep, thank you. I appreciate it. You can hear me cracking up this entire show, silly. Put it up. Yep, thank you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get out of here. We will see you in 2 weeks. Don't forget, tomorrow is Rock True Beats that it will be airing for the first time as well for this season. Wednesday, we have Rock Single, which is now average and beta at best. Our tribute out to, along with Tyron Joe and BZNZ Radio, our tribute out to Kevin Samuels. And then we also have on Thursday, as we discussed with Miss Perchadal, Rock Bottom, where I'll be interviewing her for the first season of the show regarding how she doesn't look like anything, honey, that she has been through. So don't forget to tune in. Yeah, Rock Truth, absolutely nothing, Queens. Anything? Anything?
No,
Anything
man.
going on in areas? Everybody
No,
good? Anything? No,
we
anybody needs support?
good.
All right.
Repeat.
Good over here.
Yeah, it's cold. That's all it is. And I'm gonna need it.
Reason. Can we like get some heat together? Just saying, Jesus, putting in requests. Okay. It is October though. Okay, that was the
Yeah.
word that came back. It's
I'm
October
gonna
20.
I'm gonna send you guys some sunshine from Mississippi because we're still getting
Oh,
lots of
come on, Queen.
heat.
Come through with it. Come
Good
through
for
with
you.
it. All right, guys, we are out of here and setting on time. Rock truth. Absolutely.
Bye.
And
Thank
we